Tonight's first Lifetime Achievement Award goes to a man who loves his job, loves retirement, and loves life. He held leadership positions with a number of national organizations. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please join me in saluting the former Vice President of Finance for Fenton Rigging, Mr. Richard Coles.
Growing up in East Hyde Park, Dick Coles, the third of Bernard and Mary Coles' 7 children, learned how to work from his father. A grocer by trade, Bernard put in long hours, working 7 days a week at his store.
My work ethic really came from my father. You know, he was a guy who worked all the time. I mean, he really was a worker. Even when he came home, he worked hard. We'd go fishing, he'd take the kids fishing, and he worked hard at fishing. So I learned how to work at a young age, and it's continued throughout.
A gifted athlete and student, Dick played football for Purcell High School, where he's in the Hall of Fame, and for Xavier University. After working for a small company following graduation, Dick accepted a job with General Electric and went through their financial management training program. Looking for a new challenge, he took a job with Fenton Rigging and found his home for the next 38 years.
The best part of Fenton, I thought, was it was a small business, so you had to have a lot of hats. Truly, I moved in and was running the administrative end of the business, and that meant the whole bookkeeping part, the billing, you know, basically the office work, that sort of thing. But then you get involved very quickly in advertising and the various things like that. And again, the one part that I really liked, I started to get involved in the negotiations, union negotiations, labor negotiations, and that was fun. So that just expanded to whatever you wanted to do, basically, which was the beautiful part.
My dad, Bill Bessel, was a mentor to Dick and encouraged him to volunteer in the industry. Dick has served the American Subcontractors Association in many capacities over the years, including the position as president. He also received the association's prestigious John H. Hampshire Lifetime Service Award.
He was also very involved on many levels with the Millwright Association. And while Dick learned a lot from his involvement, he says it's the friendships he's made that mean the most. And he was just as generous with his time outside the industry, serving on committees at St. Mary's in Hyde Park.
You know, my father's a quiet leader. He spent a lot of his time volunteering at St. Mary's Church on various committees, and he's still involved there today. You know, example, when we were kids, he was part of the festival committee, and his volunteer job was cleaning up garbage in the morning. And he would grab the whole Coles clan and throw them in his station wagon, and we'd go down there and clean up the school, you know, after the festival. And you know, it's kind of the way he liked to lead and liked to volunteer behind the scenes, doing jobs that nobody else really wants to do.
And coaching countless sports teams. Ever the athlete, Dick still continues to play softball, racquetball, and golf. His family also keeps him moving. He and his wife, Pat, have 11 children, 19 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandkids. He and Pat love to travel and enjoy annual trips with a group of friends.
Fenton did all kinds of really interesting jobs. I always used to say that it was a job that you could take to a cocktail party, because we were moving Kings Island stuff. We were putting up the, you know, we moved the fountain. We did the murals that people said couldn't be moved. We moved them. You know, we replaced bridges in the middle of the Mississippi. We just did wonderful kinds of jobs that you could talk about. You know, people would think, wow, you moved a 300-ton transformer? Well, yeah, you know, that's what we do on a normal basis, you know. And so it was fun to be there. It was a fun business to be in.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dick Coles, winner of this year's Spirit of Construction Lifetime Achievement Award.
Well, Jay, I guess you have your wish. I hope it didn't cost you too much to get me this. First, I'd like to acknowledge my family who are here tonight. I wish they'd stand. They're all sitting over right there. Would they stand up and let everybody see you? Thanks for being here. It meant a lot to me. The Lord has really been good to me. Look at all He gave me. First, I'd like to thank the Spirit of Construction Committee for this honor. It's very humbling for me to be included with all the other greats of the Cincinnati construction industry. People like Al Burnson, Griff Carlisle, Fran Dugan, and many, many more. These greats built wonderful businesses and buildings. They also gave back to the industry in many, many ways. This made it easier for us who followed them. I'd also like to thank Kevin McLaughlin, Tony Brunsman, and their crew for their miracles they worked on my video. I also would like to thank Bill Bessel and the Bessel family, Mary Ann, Bill, Tim, and Mike, for giving me the opportunity to be part of the Fenton Rigging Company. Fenton allowed me to grow as an individual and to provide my family with a good living. Bill hired me with no construction background. He taught me about the industry and how it worked. And a big part of that was to be involved in the industry and giving in time and energy. Bill felt that Fenton received back more than it ever gave. This helped Fenton to stay on the cutting edge of change and developments in the industry. I also want to thank my wife, Pat. Without her, I would have never achieved the things I have. She is the one who carried the family responsibilities while I spent time at Fenton and all the other activities that took me away from home. Thanks, Pat. In fact, I was gone so much that a neighbor used to call me the Phantom Father. She said she never saw me, but knew I was around because each year there was a new baby. Sports was a big part of my life, both as a player and coach. It helped me understand competition and how to compete, and also how to win and lose. If you don't keep score, how do you know how well you did? Think about it. Sports is just a small slice of what life really is. You spend time and effort getting ready, and then you compete. If you win, great. If you lose, that's okay too. Either way, you look back and ask yourself, did I give my best? Was my plan right? And on and on. What can I do better the next time? Or maybe the other guy was just better than me that day. And then you get to compete again. Isn't that what life is really about? And isn't that what the construction industry is? Just a game?